Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along to Formula Virtual Racing. We're here this evening for the first ever time actually. We head to the Shanghai International Circuit for what should be a fantastic race here in China. It is the Chinese Grand Prix, and we are live here from, of course, the Shanghai International Circuit, which I've already said twice, but we are live. And as per always, I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Brendan. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. And yourself?
I am, I'm very ill, so if Evan does sound like he's about to pass away in the commentary, please do ignore him. But we are here in China, folks. It is a 5.451 kilometre circuit, 3.387 miles, with 16 corners. It's bound to be an absolute fascinating race. Of course, this is the first taste of Formula Virtual Racing action here in China. Formula Virtual Racing Academy, of course, raced here last night, and last season they did an extra round due to some muddle-ups with us in Saudi Arabia. They did an extra round, and they did come here to China. It was a fabulous race. Both races saw Davison and Carrick have a brilliant last lap scrap. It was Davison who came out on top in Season 7. It was Carrick who came out on top last night. But it should be a very good race indeed here in China. Just getting underway for qualifying. Drivers exiting the pit lane. The first man to start a lap. Oh, if we could get the track map up, that would probably help. The first man to start a lap, I believe it is going to be Tim Denhire, who, of course, main driver for Aston Martin, raced last week in Japan. It was not so successful for him.
Yeah, well, sometimes it doesn't work out the first time round, so if you go again this time, you might get a better result. And that's what we're looking for at trying it. There would be... It's very much, you need to keep your focus here, because obviously, along long corners, it's easy enough to lose the car if you don't keep a good concentration throughout the lap. So important to get one on the board early and then go from there, because you should be able to build up your confidence.
Definitely should. We see Denhire then starting a lap now. He's currently at the foot of the field, but if this is a valid lap, he will be straight to the top, entering in towards turn number 3, rotating the car in third gear. Bit of traffic in the final sector already. We'll see a lot of that building up throughout the course of the day. Denhire then heading down. Brendan, I can hear your TV, by the way, if you're wondering. It's a 24-4 in the first sector for Tim Denhire as he heads down in towards the left, right and left section. It's a double left then after this section. Here comes Denhire as we ride on board with the Aston Martin. Decent through here from Denhire. He's certainly comfortable in that sector. It's a lot more comfortable than we'll see some of the folks here. Let me know. Oh, I don't believe there is any game audio actually. Or is there? Let me know if the game audio is okay in the stream chat, folks. It should be up and running. I'm trying a new setting so it doesn't go out of sync. Going to be a bit of a tow from Denhire. He's going to tuck in behind the Mercedes. Oh, that's the Mercedes taking to the grass to avoid him. Let's see what Denhire can do then in qualifying. Heading down towards the penultimate corner. This is a corner where we'll certainly see some dive bombs. Rotate it round right for the 180 degree hairpin, and then head up towards an almost 90 degree left. It's steady from Denhire. It's certainly not blistering, but it is steady, and he goes to the top, of course. First man to set a valid lap. Next will be Habib Makouk, who comes across the line. That's not challenging. Tyler Pistilli, then, that's not challenging either, as Liam Carrick goes to the top. It's a 1:32.234. Decent run then from Liam Carrick. Let's see, Luke Davies will be the next man to set a qualifying lap. We'll see how this one goes.
Not looking too bad for Luke Davies here. Oh, we a little touchy there on that curve, but it is a 1:33.3. He'd be looking to improve on that time.
He will. Here's Domestico Badi. He will go to third. Apologies for the notification that's covering the timing tower. If you're wondering, yes, that is Tyler Davison. He'll be here in a moment, so he's already made a little bit of a premature entrance. Here comes Sam Davison then, rounding the left-hander. We'll see where this lap will put the Hassel. Put in 5th position. Currently 8th driver setting valid time. Sam Crumpton goes to 8th. That's not a competitive one at all. We will wait and see what Glennon can do across the line. This one also isn't going to be oh so competitive. That's 5 seconds off the pace, unfortunately. So there'll definitely be more in that run. That was Adrian Taisha as well in 8th position there. So that's Adrian improving. Next is going to be Thomas Main, I believe, who is on the medium compounded tyres here, Brendan. He's trying something different.
I suppose if you lose the run in the mediums, it means you still have a few sets of softs to go on to. Plus, maybe it's not hard just to even get track experience in a way, as the Thomas wasn't there for FVR yesterday, so it's probably a way to do it. And 133.6 on the mediums, not a bad lap time.
Not a bad lap time from Thomas Main. He certainly put it up there. It's in the top 5 as of now. Let's see what Tim Wenting can do. As I thought he was coming across the line, but he's not. He's just rounding in towards the middle sector. I don't believe there's anyone, or is Borbune one ahead of him? He is. It's going to be a bit of a slipstream here for Borbune. Sam Davison will be the provider, and the two Haas cars working well here together. The two main drivers. It's one of the first times we've seen the two Haas main drivers together on track. There's going to be a beautiful slipstream from Sam Davison. He's played a blinder here to give Borbune the best run down the back straight. The 1,397 metre, the longest flat out section. Here comes Borbune then entering in towards the final corner. Of course, scored his first podium last week in Suzuka. Can he improve upon that this week? It's 5th position for Borbune, and there goes Tim Wenting to 3rd position. Alfa Romeo running very well, very nicely around here so far, but we still have 2 of the heavy hitters, McWilliam, Hernandez, 4 of the heavy hitters actually, Davison, McWilliam, Hernandez and McFall still to set a lap.
Yeah, so if whatever position you're in now, you may want to watch it because, well, there's a good chance you'll be a position or 2 lower. If you don't know, Hernandez isn't usually the best qualifier. His expertise is more suited to the worst to race. Obviously, Lewis McWilliam, he's managed to be consistent this season. And well, Tyler, well, he hasn't really attended when he has. And well, the one time he did attend, he ended up taking pretty much the maximum points, aside from one singular fastest lap.
Yeah, it was a sprint weekend, of course, in Monza. It was maximum points all but 1, as Brendan just said. We're looking at Lewis McWilliam then starting his first run of the session. Of course, it was a dominant display in Japan, and he extended his championship lead by a huge margin, picking up all 26 points in a rain-affected race in the Japanese Grand Prix. There's got to be a bit of impeding here. Oh, that's silly. Oh, that's really silly from the AlphaTauri. Was that Sam Crumpton? No, that was Habib McCook. It's not the first time Habib has been involved, unfortunately, in a blocking incident, but that's McWilliam's lap down the drain very early on here. That is Habib McCook, who has blocked the Red Bull, the sister car, the AlphaTauri, getting in the Scotsman's way, so he'll just have to back off and go again.
Yep. At least it happened early on in the lap, so he can ease off.
Oh, there's the other AlphaTauri going to 2nd position. Sam Crumpton putting it right in the mixer. That is a very decent lap indeed, but I have to say Liam Carrick looking very dominant so far in qualifying. Maybe Davison, McWilliam, Hernandez and McFall have something else to say about it, but Liam Carrick looking very smooth here so far in qualifying.
It's looking good for him, Angelo Carrick at the moment, because there is, you would say, a chasm really between himself and Crumpton. And you just wonder, is this a case of him just being that far ahead, or is there, in general, or is it a case of maybe more that we need to see a few laps from some other drivers here before we see anything really?
One of them is Juan Hernandez, who's now swinging in towards turn number 1, 2 and 3. Now, Juan had a very, very busy race in Suzuka. He'll be looking for it to be a little bit more relaxed this week. He was involved in battles throughout the race with Tim Wenting, Alan McFall, Tyler Pastilli. He was involved in it all, but Juan eventually picked up some good points in Japan. It's what he really needed to get his season going. It was the 2nd place, and that's now 2 podiums on the bounce for Juan Hernandez, 1 in Belgium, 1 in Suzuka. He's up to pick up 3rd here in China, entering in towards, or heading through, the 2nd sector. Let's see how this one's looking for Hernandez. Oh, a bit squirrely, a little bit wobbly on the rear for the Ferrari, but still looking good. Straightens off the car now through the banked right. Very interesting corner when it was first introduced in Formula 1, one of its kind. Of course, it's very slow corners around this Shanghai International Circuit. Let's see then where this puts Hernandez. It's not been too shabby of a lap so far from the Spaniard. It could put him up right there with Den Heyer and Crumpton maybe, and maybe even Angelo Carrick. Here comes the Ferrari then across the line. Where's it going to go? It's going to go to second. That's an excellent run from Juan Hernandez. Another improvement there for Luke Davies. He's gone to third. Davies improving as well here. What about McWilliam? Is he coming towards the line to complete a run? He is. It's pole position for the Scotsman. Where else would it be? That's an excellent run from Lewis McWilliam. It's by a very small margin. Here comes Davison to reply. No, it's only fourth for him. 5/10 off the Scotsman at the top. So Lewis McWilliam looking very good so far here in qualifying. Brendan, is your microphone working?
Oh yeah, it is. It is.
Oh, it is.
Is this no Tyler actually? P4. Not. No, there's actually lined up to be pretty close now. Carrick is on an outlap, and if we could just see how much time's remaining here. About 6:43. Realistically, he's probably leaving it tight for any potential final runs.
Yeah, he certainly is. Of course, McWilliams only had the one run in, has all. Davies has two in, as Lewis and Liam are racing now on the circuit. This is certainly not dangerous at all, but Carrick and McWilliam are racing here, heading down in towards the third sector. Hernandez in third. He's traditionally not very good at qualifying, or as some say, some being me, of course, but he's performing here so far. Thank you, Tyler, for starting a party with me, despite knowing that we are streaming. Oh, Gobadi is round at the final corner, just as he was going to start a lap. That's not what you want to be doing. Avesta, of course, bit rusty, hasn't raced in 2 weeks, he said, but that's not how you want to start a qualifying lap. Brendan, you with us?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, this is really the way Avesta wants to start, and it's a long way off the kind of consistency he had last season, where he was pretty much top 5 locked in every single race for the first 7 rounds. Obviously, then when we were on date in Mexico, it wasn't great, but after that, then obviously it went out of his own hands, and that was unfortunate. But even still, sometimes it does take some people more laps than others to build up the pace, and then for Avesta, maybe this track might be one of them places where he has to just get rid of the mistakes early on and then go for it.
Tim Wenting, big middle sector. He's improving by 4/10 of a second. Maybe there's a bit of pace coming into the other Alfa Romeo. Heading through the banked right-hander. We will wait and see how Wenting gets on here. Of course, the other Alfa Romeo Carrick is on a run as well. We'll keep an eye on it. Believe Thomas Main is on a run. Oh no, Thomas Main's actually improved to 4th here. So that's a big run from the Belgian. Let's see, Wenting braking for the right-hander.
Nothing too bad here, just one hook. He's not going to get blocked off by the Alpine, so that's fine.
Oh, great run for the final corner. That's an excellent run. Where's Tim Wenting going to put his Alfa Romeo? Oh, it's only 7th. He's lost a lot of time in that final sector. Carrick marginally improving in the second sector. There's not big gaining here for both Alfa Romeos. Tim Wenting was 4/10 of a second up heading through the second sector split, as that's Habib Makouk, who's crashed out of qualifying. Very unfortunate for the Lebaneseman. He has crashed out in the second sector. There goes Sam Crumpton to second. That's an excellent run from the AlphaTauri. Here comes Liam Carrigan towards the line. Where is he going to go? He's going to beat Crumpton, but it's just shy of pole position. McWilliams still holding that provisional spot. 0.013 separating the Alfa Romeo and the Red Bull.
Carrick will have to motor on here if he wants to get the final run. Even still, it seems like he was able to get up to that. It's a very good lap early on. Obviously, then it's just kind of slipped out. And if I'm not mistaken, Thomas Main was meant to be serving a qualifying ban.
No, I don't think he was.
Oh, remember last week's trip? Or was that... Did he... Is he serving such a... Remember, it's Spa-Francorchamps.
Yes, that was overruled due to poor stewarding by myself, and the rules were a little bit black and white, or not black and white. Apologies, they were a little bit. They had a shadow. I can't think of the correct terminology, but no, Thomas is all good. He is able to qualify here in China. Of course, poor race for Thomas Main last week. Didn't really get the result he wanted, and feels maybe his championship just slipped away a little bit. but he's still going to give it all and try to get back within touching distance of maybe his first FVR championship. But certainly Lewis McWilliam looking very, very dominant, as we will, or apologies, you can see the championship standings on your screen now. Lewis McWilliam in first position, 112 points out of Luke Davies in second on 61. Liam Houseman, who's not here this evening, he's unwell, so get well soon, Liam. He's on 58, then Avesta Gobadi on 55, and Thomas Main on 47. So there is a big, big gap in the championship. Lewis McWilliam, really, it's all but his now.
Well, it's very much in his hands. It's his own destiny, really, and he's not doing anything to throw it away with the looks of it right now. So unless he does crash out in this race, I'd say this will be another step towards that title, and there's a real chance he could wrap that up with multiple rounds left.
Definitely is, as we're looking at the man, the myth, the legend, Lewis McWilliam. Heading through the final corner now. This will be his final run in qualifying. Only got the one in. Of course, he was blocked by Habib McCook, but still went pole position on a scrub set. So there's definitely some improvements for the Scotsman here. Sam Crumpton retires from qualifying. It'll be a maximum start of third for him. He wouldn't have got out for another run anyways. He was still in the pit lane. Here comes the Red Bull then. Using fourth gear, utilising the high gears through the first couple of corners. Of course, the polar opposite of what he had to do. Oh no, he spun! Oh, that could be a big mistake from McWilliam. He spun, he was utilising those high gears, didn't utilise the art of short shifting, and he has spun, and that'll be the end of qualifying for the provisional pole sitter. Maybe this is someone else's to take now. Thomas Main starts his final run, so does Davison. Carrick is pacing it round, he's not going to get another run in. Liam Carrick is finished here in qualifying. Juan Hernandez is pushing it tight as well. No, he'll be able to make it, definitely. But certainly Carrick won't, so Liam Carrick will be starting a best of second. It's down to Main, Hernandez, Davison, Davies, Wentink to maybe take pole position off Lewis McWilliam. Wentink will get another run in. We will see how these guys are getting on. Thomas Main improving through the first sector into the second sector now. We'll wait and see the split times.
Just see Carrick, going out for whatever reason, unless we've got a timing issue here.
Maybe to give Wentink a slipstream.
Yeah, hold on. Let's see what Wentink is. That doesn't seem quite right.
No, it doesn't seem quite right at all now that I say it. They're on two completely different parts of the circuit. But here comes Thomas Main then heading down the long straight. The people battling for pole. Almost on the very same part of the asphalt here. Leaving it right to the death. Here comes Thomas Main heading down towards the very heavy braking zone of the second final corner. Bit of a lock-up. He's ran a little bit wide off the apex. This doesn't look like it will be pole position for Thomas Main. There's been a few little mistakes creeping in. But can the Belgian get up the grid? Can he get on the front row? The top three all not able to set a run. Main, no, he's weaving before the line. It's no good. What about his teammate Luke Davies? It's no good for him either. There was no improvement for him. What about Davison? Can he maybe take another pole position this season after he took it brilliantly in Monza? Here comes the McLaren towards the line. It's only good enough for fourth. What about Juan Hernandez here? Can he maybe take a provisional or a pole position? Wentink not improving on that blistering middle sector. Hernandez doesn't look like he's going to take it either. I think McWilliam might be good here. What about Avesta Gobadi? Is he improving? He is marginally improving by 0.2 of a second, but we'll wait and see what the Ukrainian can do. Heading in towards the left-hander. Here comes Gobadi up towards the line. No good. Only good enough for 9th. What about Hernandez then? He is improving just a little bit. Borbune's gone 10th. Den Heyer currently 11th. Mills in 12th. Here comes Juan Hernandez then heading through the hairpin. Can the Spaniard maybe take pole position? He's not known for taking pole in FVR. Heading through the final corner. Runs a little bit wide on the curb. Here comes Juan Hernandez. Tyler Pistilli! Oh no, it's the man who's gone under the radar once again. The Canadian takes pole position in China. We weren't even watching him, quite frankly. One Red Bull on top for all. One Red Bull then on top. Right in the dying seconds. Tyler Pistilli's on pole for the Chinese Grand Prix.
He does not know how to take an on pole position or take it on a good qualifying position, does he?
He does not. My goodness me. Tyler Pistilli takes pole in China by almost 0.3 of a second. What a lap from the Canadian. Lewis McWilliam in second, Liam Carrick in third, Sam Crumpton starts fourth, Tyler Davison in fifth, Juan Hernandez in sixth, Tim Wentink in seventh, Thomas Main in eighth, Luke Davies in ninth, followed by Avesco Badi in 10th, and then it's Borbune, Den Hire, Mills, Davison, McCook, Taisha, Glennon, and Aaron McFall not actually getting a proper run in. We weren't even watching McFall there. He was nowhere in that session. But ladies and gentlemen, we will be back in a couple of moments. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here in Shanghai, in China, of course, just on the outskirts of the famous city. You can see on your screen now the track these drivers will be facing. 16 corners, of course. It is 7 to the left and 9 to the right. What an interesting track indeed. We will be heading back on screen now for the formation lap here. Brendan, what's your thoughts on this one? How's this one going to go? Who will win in China?
I honestly don't know, because, well, let's put it this way: you've got top three of all have completely different qualifying, so left them pretty much in similar positions. Carrick, he got out of the blocks early, but that seemed to be the lap he could do, and that's it. But William, he did take his time a little bit to get up there, but then he messed up his final run, and that's. Then Emmy, Tyler City, out of nowhere, he's just supposed to get the lap in, so you can't really call it. But I would say, Lewis McWilliam, he does not need to win today, but he would want just to keep consistency here and not get sucked into a battle that could send him spinning down. But I would say, Tyler Basili, this is your best chance. McWilliam probably wants the championship, but he knows he can be sensible about it today.
Yeah, Lewis McWilliam certainly can be sensible about it. If Tyler Bastilli would like an FVR race win, now is certainly the time to take one. Of course, the Canadian, one of two on the grid. One starts first, one starts 16th. It is Pastilli, McWilliam, Carrick, Crumpton, Davison. A very quick top five here in China. They can certainly get us or certainly can provide us with a very good race. Of course, folks, if you want to find more FVR action, you can tune into FVRA, Formula Virtual Racing Academy, live every Friday, or, well, it should be live every Friday, but live every Friday at 8:30 GMT, PM, of course, that is. Make sure you tune in to Formula Virtual Racing Academy, live every Friday. Lining up on the grid then, top 10, oh, Pastilli, bit of a spin on the formation lap, but top 10 all on the hards, Brendan, and very few on the mediums. Is this a simple hard medium to the end? Or maybe are we expecting some rain like last week?
It doesn't seem like there's rain, and I've been able to check Mr. Davison's review just to look at weather. Looks like it might be getting brighter towards the west.
So it's going to get brighter towards the end. Aaron McFall is going to line us up on the grid here for 28 laps of this fabulous circuit. Getting all the temperature in is the Aston Martin. Little bit of a burnout there for Aaron McFall, but it will be Tyler Pastilli and Lewis McWilliam who lead us off the line, just like in Japan. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we go racing here in China. Excellent launch from the other Red Bull. Lewis McWilliam. Pistilli's not got off the line well. Liam Carrick's got off the line even better, and he's going to possibly take the lead into turn number 1. Him and the championship leader McWilliam almost making contact. Sam Crumpton's up the inside of Tyler Pistilli. Awful start for the pole sitter. Davison in 5th, Hernandez in 6th. Tim Wenting looking to gain some spots as well. Pistilli fighting back with Sam Crumpton, heading down towards turn number 3 for the first time, side by side of the AlphaTauri and the Red Bull. Pistilli's he going to try run it up the inside. Oh, there's a huge collision. Oh, there's a huge collision. There's cars everywhere. There is cars absolutely everywhere. Monumental collisions. Surprised we've not got a safety car here. There is a lot of collisions. Both Mercedes involved. Gobadi involved and Hire involved as well here on the opening lap. No safety car or virtual safety car. McFall's already up 6 positions because of that one. That was a huge collision. I'm not too sure what happened, and it looks like that is someone round. That is Davis around. That is Sam Davis around. But Lewis McWilliam almost a second ahead of Carrick. He leads the opening lap here in China.
Yeah, that's exactly as Lewis McWilliam wanted, but these Mercedes, they've made contact with each other, and that can't be good for either of you. Not just in terms of racing. Good aerial.
Here comes Pistilli. Tyler Pistilli's going to retake 3rd position. Crumpton took it off him. Of course, Pistilli got an awful lunge off the line, but he's back up to 3rd position. The Red Bullman has good pace here. We saw that last week in Suzuka, where he finished 2nd on track. Unfortunately, to get a penalty for a collision with Juan Hernandez that dropped him down to 5th, but he did finish 2nd on the track. It was an excellent performance from the Canadian who took his first pole this week. Lewis McWilliam leads us across the line to complete the opener here in China. Tim Wenting is on the back of Juan Hernandez here.
Yeah, we'll be looking to try and make a move somewhere, but it's probably not going to be just yet, because Hernandez is not going to be thinking about if he can make his move on Davison. That's all David. It's a round.
Yeah, that's Sam Davis who has gone round. Unfortunately, the Haas has not had a good start to the Chinese Grand Prix here, folks. But there's still a lot to play for. Very close gaps between the front 10, really. All within a second. And then Davies is with McFall as well. Biggest gainer on the opening lap. That was Aaron McFall, who's up 8th. Your biggest loser was the best. Go baddies! That's Wenting round. That is Tim Wenting. Big mistake from Tim. He's gone round there under his own accord. There was no one else involved in that, but the hard tyres have not treated him nicely, and he has spun himself round. Very unfortunate for the Dutchman. Oh, Pistilli round as well. That is the poleman, Tyler Pistilli, who's gone round once again under his own accord. This track seems to be catching out a handful of drivers, and Tyler Pistilli unfortunately has gone round. Aaron McFall and Seb Mills battling. McFall on the mediums, of course, side by side here, the Alpine and the Aston Martin heading into the heaviest braking zone on the circuit. McFall's going to keep this one up the inside, and it's a beauty of a move from Aaron McFall. He's up to 7th.
Yeah, Aaron McFall getting the job done on the inside there. Whereas Carrick set the fastest lap. Is that, well, Tyler...
That's Davison past Crumpton. Tyler Davison fancies taking this one into his own stride as he gets past Sam Crumpton. Wasn't the best qualifying from Davison, or what the high standards we expect from him now, but he's made his way past Sam Crumpton. He's up here to 3rd. Front 2 seems to be heading off into the, I would say the sunset, but it's very dull here in Shanghai.
Oh, that's still in the pit lane, so he decided to just, maybe he said damage somewhere. And also, I will say, we're on lap 3 that Tyler's managed to be on the podium each lap, and yeah, we've had 2 different Tylers.
Yes, of course, there's I'm surprised I haven't got them muddled up yet, just like I get the 2 Liams muddled up, Carrick and Houseman. I haven't got the 2 Tylers muddled up. It's the first time, of course, they've appeared on the same grid in Formula Virtual Racing, but I'll find a way to mix them up, certainly. Hernandez on the back of Crumpton and Davison as well. I'd expect a little bit of a battle here. It's it's Mr. Sneaky himself. It's Borbune who's up here in the fight for the podium once again, and he's got a great run on Juan Hernandez here, has Borbune. Crumpton's not got the run on Davison, but Borbune certainly got the run on Hernandez. He's on the better tyres, of course, on those Pirelli mediums. Hernandez defends to the inside, Borbune on the outside. Late braking. Who breaks the later? Borbune certainly breaks the later, but there was a car in front of him. He wasn't able to fish it round the outside as much as he would have liked, and Juan Hernandez is going to defend the spot. Seb Mills has worked his way past Luke Davies. Davies maybe has a bit of damage from that opening lap collision with his teammate.
Yeah, I believe he's the front of his car made contact with Thomas Main's side pod, and he went a little off-roading.
Bourbion trying the up and under. He went for the outside of Hernandez. Now he's just trying to sneak his car up the inside. Now going to go for the outside here, heading through turn number 3. It's not going to work out, and Davison defending from Crumpton in front. Bourbion is trying to utilise these mediums. He's trying to get everything out of them, heading into the braking zone. Not good enough for Bourbion, unfortunately. He's going to have to sit behind through this twisty sector.
That's Captain B retiring in pit lane. Let's say Crumpton's got the best ERS situation out of the 4 here, so if he wants to make the move from Tyler, he can. But it's just a question of whether it's really worth it, because you might want to just hold your resources until the opportune time. It could be now, or it could be 5 laps from now. But actually, I'll say McWilliam, he's really building up a lead here. Carrick's going to really struggle if he wants to reel in Mr. McWilliam.
Yeah, Lewis McWilliam, he likes to run away in these races. Of course, he had the man, or his former teammate was the one running away from him, as that's Habib Makouk has crashed out of the session, or it could be a retirement in the pits, I'm not too sure, but he is out, unfortunately. Habib, not a great race for him. He was involved in it, really, with that blockage in qualifying, which I imagine will be reported to the stewards for. Main's gone up the inside of Taisha. Taisha looking to defend the 2 Williamses, trying to box in the Mercedes here, heading through the penultimate corner and in towards the final corner. Adrian Taisha's going to keep it up the inside. Thomas Main tries to hang it round. He's run off the road. That may go down as an illegal overtake under the game, but yeah, he's ran off the road there, unfortunately. But Thomas Main does get the spot for now. Davison is just looking to back up Sam Crumpton. Maybe he's hoping that Hernandez goes for a rash move on the AlphaTauri and he can just bolt off.
Yeah, he will be hoping for something there, just to maybe make life a bit easier. As one move can often trigger a lot of chaos. So if that does happen, it's probably just have to hope, maybe just sit back, see if something happens.
Yes, that was Tyler Pistilli who took the fastest lap, I believe. Of course, he's on fresh mediums right down the back. He's the only man to make a pit stop so far in this Grand Prix. Avesta Gobadi is unfortunately 11 seconds off. Gobadi, I think it's just a case of rustiness for him. He hasn't raced in a while. He's been away. Or picked up an injury, I believe, did Avesta Gobadi. So I do hope Avesta he's doing okay. But unfortunately, down the back, it's no fault of his own. It's just rustiness. He's hopped straight in. But here comes Bourbion anyways. He's up the inside of Juan Hernandez. Here is the Hassman. And it looks like Juan is going to have to concede this position because Bourbion is well through here. And now he'll be on the back of Sam Crumpton, attacking for 4th position.
Yeah, Bourbion, FVR's latest podium finisher. You know, to just see if he can maybe creep up towards another podium at the moment. But they have to get past Crumpton first, and Crumpton has the ERS deployment, so maybe just keep Bourbion at bay until then tyres start to wear off for him.
Great battle here for 8th position as well. We've not really been looking at it, but Seb Mills and Luke Davies are going at it here for 8th spot. McFall's kind of in a world of his own. He's 1.5 to this train in front and 5.6 behind. But lap 6 here, Lewis McWilliam leads by 2.8 seconds. It's a dominant performance from the Scotsman so far. Whether he can keep this up, we'll have to wait and see. No safety.
Oh, Davies had a ball. Beautiful
here
switchback
comes Davies. He's gone for the switchback.
Or no, Mills has got the run, and he's kept us just about.
Yeah, great racing between these two. Davies looking for the outside maybe. He's trying to try something unconventional, unorthodox maybe. Heading in towards the double left-hander. Doesn't work. He's going to have to sit behind, but certainly there might be a DRS pass here for Davies. Mills, he's going to let him through before the DRS. It's Fernando Alonso tactics in that Alpine. He's let Davies through, so Seb can get the slingshot. And he is playing silly beggars here, but you have to respect him. That's clever from Mills. He's not did it in a dangerous manner. He's did it in a very safe manner. And now he's going to get the DRS and he'll be able to stay in front of Luke Davies. Or will he? He's had a horrible exit there as Seb Mills. Maybe struggling a little bit with the tyre deg on those tyres.
Yeah, this hasn't really been worked out so well. And arguably, there's another Mercedes coming up right here that's probably going to...
Yeah, that has not worked at all for Mills. Oh no, Davies spun! Luke Davies has spun. That is very unfortunate. He's just dropped it on the exit of the corner and Luke Davies has spun. And that's Glennon who spun round as well. It's a double spin at that corner. Oh, so unfortunate for the Mercedes and the Williams. It's a double spin, and now Davies is going to have to work his way back into the points. It's a horror race for the Mercedes-powered cars. There is only one of them in the top, or two of them, apologies, in the top 10, or three, apologies. Look, we got there in the end. There's three of them in the top 10. I always keep forgetting that McLaren have Mercedes engines now as well.
Yep, they do. They've had them since 2021. No, it's not being too bad for them. Obviously, McLaren Mercedes would have been a fairly classic combination, really, until obviously Mercedes had their own team, and then eventually case out McLaren still works, their effective works team. But either way, that's not really relevant to what we're looking for here, as it looks like Crumpton is still all over the back of Davison, and surely at some point he'll be going for the move here.
Yeah, we'll just take a quick look at their ERS, and yeah, Davison using a lot more of it, but they are slowly but surely catching Liam Carrick in front, which is what Davison will want to be doing. Davison, he knows he's a very similar pace and a very similar stature of driver to Sam Crumpton. And Sam just defending nicely here, or apologies, not defending nicely, he's just looking or making the Tyler Davison to defend nicely, and he's looking for a move. He didn't go for it, as Thomas Main's going to look at the inside. Mills still. Mills is like a brick wall here for 8th. He's making Main go round. A little bit of a wheel bang between the Mercedes and the Alpine. And Seb Mills holds the spot here for 8th. Mills doing a great job in 8th position, as he almost spun it. He almost spun it. Here comes Thomas Main then. This is a great chance for the Belgian. Oh, not allowed to do that. That's 2 moves, as Mills is going to lose the spot here. Thomas Main gets it. Arguably a bit of aggressive defending, as there's a little bit of a tap at the rear. Mills going to try running up the inside. This is oh so aggressive from Seb Mills, and that was never going to work out. Thomas Main gets the spot.
Yeah, that was very aggressive, and I'd say Seb probably can't really complain, because he did put a late defensive manoeuvre to try and beat the place. He tried to just force his way up the inside, and it didn't really work. So he's now got to sit back here, just when he take the DRS this time. You won't have to play games for it, but you'll also have to make sure you don't have a bad exit.
He has decent pace as well, because he's keeping with these guys after he loses the spot, but yeah, bit of aggressive from Mills, but well, rubbing his racing, as they say in the States. Borbune, though, great run on Sam Crumpton. If Sam Crumpton's not going to attack Davison, Borbune wants to do it himself. Here he goes into the slipstream, using his battery and his DRS. Crumpton has some as well. Crumpton just moving back defensively. Borbune is going to have to try again. Borbune, actually, I believe, is live streaming this race on TikTok, he told me earlier, so that's an FVR first, certainly.
Oh well, that's something you don't see well, you don't see it very often, really.
I don't even know how you can do that. I'm big into my live streaming and stuff. I don't even know how that works, but fair play to Borbune. I do hope this race, he is live streaming this on TikTok, and I certainly hope his viewers are enjoying it.
Yep. There's many ways to get engagement, and that is one of them. So we have to commend Borbune for doing it. Otherwise, he might bring some viewers over to here. So could be a very, very good thing. Oh, he's gone a bit deep there, yeah.
Oh, he's gone a bit deep. He has gone a bit deep, and that's cost him a bit of time. Crumpton has managed to leap away a little bit on the exit of the corner. Borbune's tyres maybe not feeling the better. Of course, those tyres will last a lot longer around China. And the guys he is battling with will be on the quicker tyre come the end of the race. Borbune went for the quicker tyre first, and he's going to take the pain later, which is... Traditionally, it was a very good strategy. However, league racing in this game, it's usually the opposite. It's usually the hard tyres first and then the mediums.
Yep, that's just the way games can work. Sometimes one game it could be just normal conventional, or it might be a swap of the conventional if it comes to barrel. Obviously, in this game, since hard medium is usually the best option, although he's close. It's like he's closing up here. See how he's got good straight line speed.
Doesn't go for that.
Not close. Yeah, but I don't think it would have worked.
Oh, Crumpton's had a wobble, and Borbune looked to go up the inside, but couldn't quite get the traction. And I have to say, I didn't expect the Tyler train to be a thing today, but it certainly is. And Juan Hernandez is still on the back of these guys now. McFall, he's not actually closing in, he's losing time. I was going to say McFall is probably closing in, but he's not. Borbune, is he going to look up the inside? He looked up the inside of Juan Hernandez. He's going to look up the inside of Sam Crumpton. This is a Borbune traditional move for the Haas. Tries to fish it around the outside, does not work, and Sam Crumpton defends it.
Seems like Pumpkin's got enough here just to sit back, defend. But the longer he's sticking behind here, the more ERS he's using and the more it's just going to fall in line with everyone else. I'd say he needs to burn it and see if he can get past. Because if he
Scrap
can,
here between Mills and Taisha. Apologies to jump over you, Brendan, but Seb Mills looking for the outside on Adrian Taisha. Taisha just defending. Bit of a block manoeuvre to defend on Seb Mills, and Adrian Taisha carries the momentum through the corner, and he is staying ahead here. So good. It's a defensive swap, or it's a swap and rolls between Mills and Taisha, as Taisha all out of shape through there. Seb Mills was looking to try and maybe go around the outside into that double left-hander, but there just was not enough space, and Tim Wentink is on the back of these, and maybe he'll swallow them up like a tiger going for his lunch. Here comes Borbune then once again. Is he close enough on this lap? I do not think so, because he was closer on previous occasions and he didn't go for it. Yeah, he's not going to go for it this lap either.
Yep, once again, Tiger Train remains the Tiger Train. Thank you very much. It seems like Tyler's just falling a bit back off Carrick, as it seems to have stabilised between Carrick and McWilliam. And we haven't really mentioned McWilliam much because, well, he's been doing what those McWilliam things of just disappearing into the distance and leading.
Yeah, he certainly has. As Taisha, bit of a wobble out of the final corner. Mills going to look to capitalise on this one. He's dummied him. Oh, beautiful dummy from Seb Mills. He's certainly pulling out all the moves. This is going to be 3 wide into the first turn, I believe, as Wentink is looking for this one as well. He's holding it on the outside. Adrian Taisha just trying to keep it up the inside of Seb Mills here. This is going to be difficult to do. Is Wentink going to look for the double switch back on them both? He's going to try get it on Adrian Taisha, and this is excellent racing between Wentink and Taisha. Not able to get it done, but is Wentink going to try around the outside, Valtteri Bottas style, into here? No, Taisha keeps up the inside, almost hits Mills, but still makes the apex. Excellent defending from the Canadian, and this is a great little scrap for a 9th position in this race between Mills, Taisha and Tim Wentink.
Yep. He had some brilliant racing here, and I see Mills doing a very, very good job here. This is closer to the performance of the show last season, so it's good to see he's been able to find that bit of form this week. That's really making all the difference for a season. This one good race can really change everything.
He's going to try around the outside here. Oh, that's the beauty of a move from Adrian Taisha. I believe he might still get the DRS as well, unless that was the activation line. I think it could have been. Don't think he will just quite get it. Mills could have played his card very well there. Tim Wentink was just boxed in, and it's no DRS for Taisha. Look at Wentink though. Wentink's got an absolute beautiful run down in towards the heavy braking zone. He's got both of the blue cars. Tim Wentink gets the job done here for 9th position. Mills and Taisha are certainly going to fight it hard as Borbune is into the pit lane on those mediums. Great exit for Seb Mills. Is Wentink going to keep it up the inside here? No, he's not. That's Seb Mills back in front as they all run wide. Seb picks up a penalty for it.
Just going to check here. I have to see where Borbune finds out in. I think he's
Wentink
going
around
to
the
find
outside.
out with Davies.
Wentink still looking around the outside on Seb Mills. Mills defends hard, but Wentink's going to have the inside. If he can just get the exit here, and that is an exquisite overtake from Tim Wentink. It is an exquisite move from Tim Wentink, and now Taisha's right on the tail of Mills, but Wentink's had a wobble on the grass. Seb Mills might look for this one back. It'll be a late breaking manoeuvre if he's gone for it, but he has gone for it. Down the inside goes the Alpine on Tim Wentink. Tim Wentink going to keep it up the inside here into the S's. Is Seb Mills going to try force it around the outside? No, he's not. That's excellent racing between these three. This is really being a fantastic display.
Just knowing how much space you need to give, and just going for it at the same time. It's the perfect little balance you need for brilliant racing, and they've clearly found it. Meanwhile, I would say, I'm trying to see what Borbune can do with these brand new hard tyres, because he could potentially catch on to this group. And looking at the times here, I'd say he's going to catch on soon enough, so I really hope they'll calm down by now. But I think that's Millsy past Taisha. I'm going to see Taisha go down the inside.
Up the inside. He is going to fish one up the inside. Very, very reminiscent to Max Verstappen's attempt at an overtake. A lot more cleaner from Taisha, I must say. On the inside of the Alpine, he's not got the job done as Aaron McFall filters into the pits. We're going to see the medium runners filter in. Apart from Tyler Pistilli, he of course made an early pit stop after a spin. He's already completed one stop in this race. The pole sitter But I have to say, this battle for third is still at a stalemate. It's still Davison, Crumpton, Hernandez. Of course, Bourboon was in this battle, but he has pulled into the pit lane since.
Yeah, so Bourboon 1.6 down to that group. He's going to have to... Oh, well, Millsy's made a mistake, so that's one person. And I think Millsy... Hold on, let me see his wing. He's got damage.
He's damaged.
He's at a wall.
Damage for Seb Mills. He's hit a wall somewhere along the line anyways. That's unfortunate because Seb was running a great race. Luke Davies will be delighted to see him get past the Alpine. Where is he going to go for it? Is Luke Davies. Of course, Seb does have damage. Luke will know that. Luke very on the ball. He's very tuned in. Is he going to try the up and under? This is a dangerous place to go for it. Seb does leave the space. Davies doesn't risk it. Glennon picks up a penalty. What about Luke Davies? Can he maybe look up the inside here? No, he's going to stick for the DRS and take an easy pass. Mills run wide, and that was Den Heyer as well, who's gone into the back. And this is a real kerfuffle down the back because Pistilli looks up the inside. McFall going to look up the inside of Den Heyer as well. Pistilli and McFall both on much fresher tyres than these guys. Tyler Pistilli's won't be feeling the best after this because they are 10 laps old and mediums, but certainly fresher than those in front, and that is now, it's now Bourboon 9th, then it's Davies, Mills, Pistilli, McFall, Den Heyer. Or is it? Mills keeps it up the inside. Oh, Seb, there's no need to keep it up the inside there. You've damaged, my friend, as Luke Davies is going to try and just force him out wide and force him to back out here for the final corner. Mills comes into the pits anyways. That was very close to a collision, but Mills comes in anyways, and now Seb Mills is in to change that front wing. Bourboon is past Adrian Taisha. Bourboon's on a mission here in China.
Yeah, Bourboon, he knows he's got to make these laps count, because if he could make it some good inroads here, he could end up ahead of the entire Tyler train.
He could. He certainly could. We're at the halfway point in this race. It's Lewis McWilliam dominance once again here in Asia. It is the Asian man Liam Carrick. Not ancestors don't necessarily come from China, but certainly he will be looking to put on a good performance here. Will Liam Angelo Carrick? He's currently second, and I have to say, him and McWilliam have just looked so comfortable at the top. We've not even really looked at them in this race purely based on the fact of just how comfortable this one is for them.
Crumpton coming close to Tyler. Will he go for a move now? He's looking.
Yeah, he's looking.
Just doesn't go. Maybe I wonder if any of these are going to start racing into the pit lane or something like that, but that'll be a few laps away, I think.
Yeah, one person in this train is certainly going to try and undercut. If it was anyone, I would say it'll be Juan Hernandez, but I'm not a betting man, so I couldn't tell you, but I feel Juan Hernandez and undercut will be a very good call for the Spaniard, because he's not really had a look in at these two. He was battling with Bourboon, of course, in the early stages of this race, in this train, mind you, but he was battling, as that is Tim Wentink now pulling into the pit lane. That's another spot for the man we were just mentioning, Bourboon. Here comes Sam Crumpton then. Is he going to look up the inside of Tyler Davison? No, not able to get the job done.
Good news for Bourboon here. 7.5 seconds of clean air. Obviously, playing is Thomas Main, but realistically, there's probably not going to be enough difference between the two for Thomas Main to become a blockade on Bourboon. So we should be able to enjoy this free space. And if we can just make the inroads in here now, arguably, because he's a hard tyre, shoot 9 and 12.
Yeah, they certainly should. I have to say, it's been an interesting race so far here in China. We haven't had a safety car or a VFC that could really, really jumble things up here. As Carrick would then be right on the back of McWilliam, who I think he's fairly equal pace to. Is Crumpton going to look at the inside of Davison? No, Davison just stays in the middle of the circuit, where you want to be defending into that corner. You don't really want a car on your inside or outside, because then you're gambling. Here, heading on to lap 16 of the Chinese Grand Prix out of 28. No one from this train into the pit lane just yet. Our McFall
Crumpton's going to go for it here.
Oh, here he is. Yes, Sam Crumpton is going to go for it. He's gone around the outside of Tyler Davison. Davison going to try keep it up the inside here, maybe at the AlphaTauri. And Sam Crumpton just trying to force his way around. Now has the inside. Bit of wheel banging between the two. This is oh so close. And Davison's going to try get the exit on Crumpton. He'll have the slipstream down towards the next corner. Maybe it'll be like former McLaren driver Daniel Ricciardo-esque. Here into the corner. No, he's not gone for it. Davison's just going to have to sit behind, unfortunately.
Yeah, so it's been the coming, really.
It's been coming for the last 16 laps.
Yeah. Crumpton's bided his time, but he's finally got that move done. And now we have to see if he's able to start pulling away from Tyler, or if it's just a case of, well, the Tyler train's being replaced by the Sam Crumpton train. And it seems like Crumpton, he's not under being hounded by Tyler so far, although you may see things change here on the straight, because you don't know, Tyler's straight line speed might well be good enough to charge back at Sam Crumpton.
Pastillion then higher, both in for the mediums. That's Pastilli's second set of the mediums, of course, so he will be quick towards the end of the race. Davison not able to close in on Sam Crumpton. We should start to see maybe some pitters. McWilliam doesn't pit. What about Liam Carrick? Is he in? No, he stays out, so these guys are comfortable. Well, that's Sam Crumpton. Will he look for the pit lane? No, he will not. And all these guys just staying out. Gap between Borbune and Thomas Main's come down substantially. It was 7.4, now 5.9. 2 laps later, Borbune is flying here in China. He really has come on in leaps and bounds as a driver. Oh, just over the course of this season, even.
He's really challenging the top drivers here in virtual racing, and it's just been a massive evolution. As that's Thomas Main into the pits for a brand new set of the medium tyres. So it's probably going to be just a bit of a no man's land race for Mr. Main, because, well, he doesn't seem to be really near anyone. Maybe his old friend Tim Wenting might provide him with some competition there, as Tim Wenting sets the fastest lap. Even then, Thomas Main, he's out a couple of seconds ahead of Tim Wenting.
Borbune here. I wonder, is it getting to the point where, if he just gains a few more seconds, could he even maybe challenge Carrick, or is the gap just too big? We'll take a look at it now. The gap between himself and the leader is 28 seconds. Of course, that means the gap between himself and Carrick is 24. If something goes wrong for Carrick in the pits, I certainly could see Borbune maybe challenging the man in second place, but no one's challenging the Scotsman up top. I wonder, is he maybe even staying out to go for a set of the soft compound tyres? Because, no, never mind, ignore that. Lewis McWilliam finally into the pit lane, and so is Liam Carrick, so both pitting. Will anyone from this train maybe stay out? Davison stays out, he's playing a gamble. Juan Hernandez is in, as well as Sam Crumpton. Borbune, let's see where he's going to come out in relation to this battle. It's going to be... Oh, it's a 5-second penalty for Sam Crumpton. That's big. It's going to be mediums for Lewis McWilliam as he gets out before Liam Carrick even pulls into his box. That just shows the gap between those two. Mediums, of course, for Carrick. Mediums for Crumpton. Mediums for Hernandez. Borbune rounds the final corner. This is going to be close on pit exit. Not necessarily between the race leaders, but it is between Sam Crumpton. Here is Borbune.
He's got them.
He's got them, and he's not too far behind Liam Carrick at all. He's got past Sam Crumpton, though. The undercut has worked, or not necessarily an undercut, but the alternate strategy has worked hugely for Borbune. However, he does have a task on his hand because he's on much, much worse tyres at this stage in the race, and he needs to try and stay in front of Sam Crumpton, but quite crucially, he is out of DRS. Oh well, he's back in it now, just as I say that, as Tyler Pastilli sits the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Tyler Davison leads, though. I'm sure if there was a safety car, he would want it to be now.
Yep, I think it would be in his plans, really. If he would be allowed to put it in his plans, he would have it penciled in for right this moment. However, it's not really going to be the case here, I'd say. And there's a real risk he's going to fall behind, well, actually, let's say Hernandez. Lost a few seconds there, really, to Crumpton. So I'd say Tyler's going to file out at the 5th.
Yeah, Sam Crumpton, I'm not sure if he's just had a much better outlap and he's got the tyres up to temp more, or maybe Juan had a mistake in the pits. Of course, there's a little bit more of a human element in the pit lane, but here comes Sam Crumpton. He's going to get the job done on Borbune. Unfortunately, Bor wasn't able to defend it, but he does have a margin behind now to Juan Hernandez. Maybe he could hold firm in 5th position. Davison into the pit lane now. It'll be the medium compound of tyres, of course, for the Brit to the end of the race, and we'll see as the leaders fly past where he comes out in relation to Sam Crumpton. That's a blistering lap from Crumpton. I don't think he's going to be ahead. I think he will filter out just in front of Juan Hernandez here. Very short run out of the pits. He will filter out just in front of Juan Hernandez on the ball, as per usual, Brendan.
Yep. And just to know, this could be a second podium for Borbune if he plays his cards right, because that's actually
That's
Gobadi.
Gobadi who's gone round. So, yellow flag in Sector 3. He's got it going again. No risk of a safety car or anything, but Avesta Gobadi having a spin. It's not been Alpine's day, unfortunately. Mills put up a great effort in that fight with the two Mercedes and Adrian Teichen, but unfortunately, picking up that damage was the beginning of the end for Alpine's points chances. Unless something does happen, like a safety car or a collision in front that brings him back into it, I can't really see Seb Mills getting good points here today. But if you're just tuning in now, welcome along, ladies and gentlemen, to Formula Virtual Racing. Make sure to pop a subscription onto the YouTube channel, like the video, and check out all our social channels. Links are in the description below. Davison is into DRS and Borbune now. Unfortunately, I have the fear that Borbune's going to be swallowed up, and the best he can hope for in this race is 6th.
Yeah, it seems like, well, the gamble did work, but also the adverse effects are now starting to kick in. Because unless he had gotten a safety car in some way right now, even then, he'd be falling down a few places. Because that's with William and Carrick trading fastest laps. And, yeah, let's just have to see, will we see a Borbune train here? Maybe. If Davison doesn't have straight line speed, you might see a train start to form. But I don't think it will really happen.
Davies only coming in for his pit stop now, so is it a gamble on the softs maybe for Luke Davies? No, mediums,
no.
He just wants some better mediums, but Luke Davies only into the pits now. He's not going to filter too far down in terms of positions, because there is big margins between himself and those behind, but he will be out of the points, and there is work to do for Luke Davies if he wants to get back into them. But he'll give it a good go. Of course, Luke will give it a good go. Fantastic driver, currently second in the championship with 61 points, and we believe in Luke, and we certainly are going to keep an eye on him to see can he work his way back up in towards the top 10. Davison hounding Borbune now, and Bor maybe just be swallowed up here on the next DRS straight.
Yep, Davison managed to climb up right behind him. Only he's going to have to watch. Hernandez has ERS, which is double his. And mind you, well, Davison's is somewhat double that. Yeah, Borbune's but just he wants to get past here himself before he ends up letting Hernandez starts to trouble him.
Here he goes, outside for Davison. He keeps Borbune on the inside. And oh, bit of a lag spike there. Apologies for that, folks, as Davison is going to go clean around the outside of the Dutchman. Beautiful move from Tyler Davison. Juan has got the exit as well. And that's unfortunately Borbune losing 2 in 1. What Bor wants to do now is just try keeping the DRS of these guys as much as possible and drive home for a comfortable 6th position finish. But certainly it feels like there is still an outside factor waiting in this race, as we haven't had a virtual safety car or a safety car yet, or even a controversial collision, apart from maybe that lap 1 crash, which we didn't really get to see the full effects of because it was further down the field.
Yep, that was a collision between two teammates, but obviously it seems like nothing else has really happened here, so this could be a very quiet Stewart report for this race. It will be. It's just it is nice to have a calm race once in a while, where sometimes the battles are very much just natural based on the pace.
I can't lie, it is a nice calm race here in China. It certainly is, and certainly one thing that has improved, I think, is the driving standards this season. We've had some excellent battles. Okay, maybe the stream views and stuff has gone down, but we've certainly had an increase in driver cleanliness or driver fatigue. So that's one thing I'm delighted to comment on. But Tyler Davison now, big margin to Sam Crumpton in front, but he needs to try keep within that 5 seconds, because of course Sam Crumpton does have that speeding into the pit lane penalty, which would promote Davison onto the podium. As of now, it's looking very close, because Hernandez right on the tail of Tyler as well. The Spaniard is going to be battling this McLaren, and if you know Juan, you don't even need to know Juan. If you just watch FVR, you know well that Juan's going to fight this very, very hard.
Yep, if he sees the opportunity, he's going to go for it, and I think Tyler's going to know that, so he may well just need to have that in the back of his mind and have some idea of how he's going to defend from Juan if he does see Juan trying to attack him, and which I presume there's already a plan there. Maybe just try to take advantage of the parts of the track you're faster in, and that may Because I think he did build up a decent enough gap there before the back straight. So if he can just take advantage maybe there and see if he can push the gap, it should manage to alleviate any chances of one overtaking.
Race leader Lewis McQuillan has a 4-second margin. It's come down a little bit, but it certainly doesn't look like it's going to come down much more between himself and Liam Angelo Carrick. It's Sam Crumpton in third, followed by Davison, Hernandez, Bune, McFall, Main, Wenting and Pistilli, the points positions. Gobadi's gone for a set of softs. I imagine we'll see a fastest lap attempt from him in the coming laps. I wonder will we see any from maybe some of the other drivers outside the top 10. Although I have to say Luke Davies, he's not looking like he's going to get points here, unfortunately. He's on the back of Den Heyer and Taisha, but there is a huge margin between Taisha and Pistilli. That is a fastest lap from Vesta Gobadi, so that's an extra point for himself, despite not having a good day. Of course, the rules and regulations of Formula Virtual Racing state if you do set the fastest lap, even if you're not in the top 10, you can get the point once you finish.
If that is the rule, and it just means drivers always have something to go for here, so you should investors trying to take advantage, maybe just get an extra point in. You never know when that can come in handy towards the end of the season. Just up here, Hernandez sticking with Tyre is to be the key, but it seems like Crumpton's putting out that gap, and it seems like he should keep that podium. So I'm trying not to be the fourth now, this battle between Hernandez and Davison.
Oh, Den Heyer looking up the inside of Taisha. That's a beautiful send from Tim Den Heyer. Well executed. Taisha looking back up the inside. Davies going to look to try capitalise on this one. It's 3 Mercedes-powered cars. Williams, Aston Martin and the factory Mercedes here who are going wheel to wheel. Den Heyer up the inside. Taisha on the outside. Can the Canadian maybe hold around the outside of the Dutchman? No, he cannot. Does he get the exit? It's very, very neck and neck here. Taisha is the inside line, though, in towards this Sweep and S's section. Still side by side. Look at this. Oh, there's contact between the two, and Den Heyer around. Davies has to avoid. There is contact between the two, and the Dutchman has been sent spinning. Oh, so unfortunate for Tim Den Heyer, because that was an excellent battle up to that point.
Well, that is unfortunate. Sometimes the more battling you do, in a way, the more chance you're allowing for something like that to happen. And well, it has happened, so unfortunate for Tim, but remove. It's like
yellow flag. That's a Ferrari. That's Juan Hernandez, who's made a big mistake through the final corner. Was that just a spin, or has he hit a wall? We are waiting to see a front wing.
No, I think
no, he's all okay,
there.
I think. But that is Juan Hernandez, who might fall into the clutches of Aaron McFall. That promotes Bob Bune back up to 5th. Very rare error from Juan Hernandez. He usually doesn't make an error on his own.
Yeah, usually it doesn't happen that way, but obviously he may have just, I'm not sure how he would have done it, probably clipped the inside curb of the last corner wrong, and that's probably would send him into a spin. Or he's just went a bit wide and just lost control. Either way, he's going to just want to make sure McFall doesn't get into his DRS, because McFall is going to want to take whatever opportunity falls into his hands. He's been very much in a no man's land race all day, and I'd say he'll be relishing the fact that somebody's actually come near him.
Yeah, we've had the Aaron McFall train, or the Aaron McTrain, develop in the previous 2 races, or 3 races in Singapore and in Suzuka. So it's a little bit of a holiday for the Aaron McTrain. The fact he's no one stuck behind him today, but Davies has passed Taisha, and that is Luke Davies now in 11th. A mistake for someone in front would see him promoted to the points, but he's just got to keep lapping at a good pace here and hope something goes wrong in front, because certainly he's not going to catch 13 seconds in 3 laps without it. But starting the 25th lap of the race is our race leader, Lewis McQuillan. That's a yellow flag in the final sector. That is Adrian who's gone round. Unfortunate for Adrian. Taisha as Avesta's on the full wets.
Right.
Interesting.
But there must be a move out there, you say?
Look, I can't really see how it's the correct choice of tyre, but maybe he's just sensing a few droplets. No, it's silly from Gobadi, unfortunately, and he will pick up a reprimand or a penalty for it. It'll most likely be driver penalty points, but he's not doing what he should be doing, as that's Tyler Pistilli and Tim Wenting battling here. I don't know what happened there. It certainly didn't look like a normal overtake, but that is Gobadi off to your left-hand side. That is Tim Wenting in 9th, Pistilli in 10th. A collision between these two is what Davies would want. A collision between Pistilli and Wenting is absolutely not what they would want, as they are running on the fringe of the points.
Just watching here for Avesta, because, well, you want to be careful. If he hits a wall here, I'd say you're in for a safety car.
Yeah, which is not what we want, and it's certainly not a case of race fixing, because Avesta's very good friends, as that's Glennon out of the race. That is not the car we talk about. Is this going to be a late safety car? I think McWilliams just got across the line. Of course, safety cars don't come out with...
lap 26, I think we're late.
Yeah, I think we're too late. Don't think we will see a safety car here in this Chinese Grand Prix. It's one of very few FVR races where you don't see a safety car, as Juan Hernandez has got past Bourbion.
Yeah, so I think Bourbion just didn't really have the pace there. But arguably, it could be a case now where McFall starts to battle Bourbion rather than him battling Hernandez.
Yeah, I think Bourbion's tyres are just dead, unfortunately.
The good news, I suppose, is the next person behind him's tyres probably are around a similar age. Hernandez probably annoyed himself that he didn't stick with Tyler there, but even still, he's picked up very good points in the last 3 races.
Tyshin and Higher going at it once again. These have made contact once after a brilliant battle through the second sector, but the Williams is certainly fighting for every position. You probably won't see two guys fight as hard for P11 ever again in league racing, but that is why we love the determination of these two, Den Hire and Taisha, fighting for every spot, as that yellow flag is once again for Gobadi, as there's a bit more contact between the two, but Taisha, one of the most respectful drivers on the grid, just lifts off and lets Den Hire keep the position, and rightly so.
Well, not Pistilli. I think he's going to be looking for maybe a move on Tim Wenting. I think 9th is going to be the best he's going to get anyway. But I think he'd just like to confirm it on the track and to the right and
flies
ahead.
Past. Absolutely flies past. Like a thunderbolt. There's no stopping at Red Bull, and Tyler Pistilli is up to 9th, the pole sitter. Of course, spun on his own in the opening laps of this race. The race has not gone down the way he would have wanted. That is a yellow flag. That's Seb Millsy, actually. That's the other Alpine. That is Seb Mills who's gone round. As Davies, I believe, is pit for a fastest lap attempt, and he's just going to try get a point out of this one. So Taisha Den Hire back at it again. Den Hire keeps the spot. Taisha tried around the outside of the final, or the penultimate corner, I should say. But Den Hire is ahead, heading in towards turn number 1. This has been an almighty scrap between these two. Adrian Taisha just looking to try and regain the position, using the DRS up the inside of the turn 1. Bit of contact between the two, and that's going to see Adrian Taisha go round, unfortunately. And that'll be the end of that one, as Tim Den Hire will keep 11th position.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to benefit anyone here, really. But they've battled for long enough, and I suppose sometimes just one slight touch, you can just mess it all up.
I have to say, Sam Crumpton, he's only 2 seconds adrift to Liam Carrick. Sam's pace here in the second stint has been phenomenal. Carrick round! Oh, Liam Carrick's gone round, and he's hit the DRS board, and he's spun on the penultimate lap of the Chinese Grand Prix. That promotes Sam Crumpton up to second. He does have that 5-second penalty, but I think he might be okay. It's the second big mistake from a Ferrari-powered car for the penultimate corner, and Liam Angelo Carrick is sent spinning, and I believe that's Luke Davies who's gone spinning as well. Big names, big spins here on the final lap of the Chinese Grand Prix.
So it's not great there for Carrick. It was a comfortable second place. However, once again, it just seems like mistakes just happen to come in there, and it's unfortunate. However, just maybe if he can push a little here, he would be able to slip back in within that 5 seconds. If he can do that, then well, it should be an unconsequential mistake, really.
It's a horror mistake from Liam Angelo Carrick, Lewis McWilliam heading down the back straight for the final time. He's led all 28 laps here. Oh no, sorry, apologies, he hasn't. He didn't lead lap 17. That was when Davison stayed out longer, but he's led, or had the provisional lead, of all 28 laps here in the Chinese Grand Prix. It's been a phenomenal performance from the Scotsman. He'll stand on the top step of the pedestal once again, which makes him the all-time FVR podium sitter. Lewis McWilliam wins the Chinese Grand Prix. It's third in a row, or apologies, it's second in a row for Lewis McWilliam. He wins. Sam Crumpton will come across the line in second, and I think he's going to keep it. Liam Carrick will come across the line in third position. Oh, that's oh so unfortunate for him, because it was a huge error in the final lap. Davison will come across the line in fourth. Juan Hernandez will come across the line in fifth. Borbune has actually fallen to 8th here in this one. Thomas Main got the position on him as well, so our McFall comes across penalties. The line. But yeah, Borbune, he will get 7th due to that Thomas Main penalty. If Vestigo Bad, he's just set the fastest lap of the race. Borbune will go back up to 7th. Thomas Main in 8th. Pastilli will come home in 9th. Followed by Wenting, who, he spun before the line actually, as Tim Wenting. But he will come across the line, nevertheless, in 10th position. It'll be then Den Heyer, and then it will be Adrian Taisha, and then it will be Luke Davies.
Yeah, actually, I will say, this has worked out in the best possible manner for Lewis McWilliam, really, because the people who took the next points were, well, if I can just get it up there quickly, obviously Carrick, who was only 10th to the championship, Crumpton, who was 11th, Tyler, who was 8th and had done one race, and Hernandez, who would only start scoring around 5. So, very much so, the people who could have really challenged, would have been considered challengers, Davies, Houseman and Gobadi, only 1 point between the trio.
Oh, so unfortunate. And is it all but done, maybe, for Lewis McWilliam? It was expected to be a titanic battle, but nobody's been on the level of the Scotsman. As we are just waiting for Seb Mills to cross the line, I'm going to assume he's doing donuts. He is doing donuts. Imagine my shock. But Lewis McWilliam wins in China, dominant in Asia. He won Suzuka comfortably, he's won Japan comfortably, and his rivals have all made big errors. He's not, he's been icy cool, and Lewis McWilliam has put on a show here in the 2 Asian countries. We will get to see your podium now, folks. Lewis McWilliam stands on it for a record-breaking time.
Yep, 27th podium in his career, so he's not just surpassed legend on that record. So, congratulations to him. He's absolutely done it.
Here is your full race results then, ladies and gentlemen, from the Shanghai International Circuit. It's Lewis McWilliam on top, with Sam Crumpton in second position. Liam Angelo Carrick in third, was running second all race, and then spun on the penultimate lap. Tyler Davison in fourth. Juan Hernandez in fifth. Aaron McFall in sixth. Borbune in seventh. Thomas Main in eighth. Tyler Pastilli in ninth. Tim Wenting in 10th. Tim Den Heyer in 11th. Adrian Taisha in 12th. Luke Davies in 13th, Seb Mills 14th, Vestigo Badi in 15th, and your 3 non-finishers were Glennon, McCook and Sam Davis. Brendan, who wins the Meme 1 Safety Award?
Let me see here. See, I have to say, Crumpton did very well. Obviously, stuck behind Tyler for a long time, but he was able to make the passes and then get past Borbune and clear off. So actually, I'll give it to Crumpton this time. There's absolutely nothing wrong today.
So Sam Crumpton wins the Meme 1 Safety Award. Brendan, what's your final thoughts on that race?
If McWilliam doesn't win the championship from here, It would have to be a monumental collapse, pretty much beyond what you'd ever think of a collapse would be, really. Honestly, you just say now, he doesn't really need to win races for the rest of the season. Just take over some points, and that probably will do you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do hope you enjoyed this race here in China. It was not the most interesting race of all time, but certainly there was some great battles, some great overtakes. Make sure to join us next week where we head to Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. Home race for the current championship leader, Lewis McWilliam. Let's see, can he maybe pick up a famous British Grand Prix victory? Stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you next time.